Thomas held the small clover between his fingers. Mary opened her eyes and looked at it. "Let me see," she said, and smiled. "I have never in my life seen such a thing. If only you were still a child, you could see the fairies." She examined the clover Thomas held between his fingers before returning to her sunbathing. Thomas laughed, lay down on his back, and rested his head in her lap as he twirled the clover he held in his fingertips. "I'm crazy for you, Mary. Absolutely crazy," he said, looking up at her. Thomas reached up and traced her jawline with his finger. Mary looked down at his beaming face and smiled. She leaned forward, kissed him, and tilted her face back up to the sun again. "What are you thinking?" he asked in all seriousness. Mary sighed deeply. "Well, I'm wondering if I'll ever see you again, once they lock you away in the asylum." She laughed. She didn't like it when he was so serious. "Oh, Mary, you're always the jester. One of the many things I adore about you, but truly, tell me. Your eyes seem to hold so many secrets, and I have yet to find a way to unlock them." Thomas sat up and faced her. He reached over and tucked a loose hair along with the clover behind her ear. She sat motionless with her face still tilted toward the sun. He took her chin between his thumb and index finger and gently coaxed her to face him. It took me a few minutes to understand exactly where I was upon waking in a strange bed, in a strange room. Even crawling into bed seemed a blur, much less falling asleep. The only thing I did remember was that Sarah was on my mind. Who is or was the little girl that now haunted my dreams? I laid there in bed, staring up at the ceiling, trying hard to recall my dream from last night and all my other dreams since they had started. Bits and pieces came flooding back, but there was no making sense of any of it. Throwing off the light sheet which covered me, I sat up, filled with anticipation. I had to understand what was happening. They were no longer dreams to me, but messages from another time and place. I grabbed my robe from the back of the bedroom door, pulled it on, and made my way toward the desk. My fingers rooted through the handmade pencil holder, jammed with pencils, markers, and the like, and searched for a pen with which to jot down my thoughts. Finally, with a suitable pen in hand, I snatched the notebook from the desk and proceeded to the living room, plunked myself down on the corner of the couch, and opened the book to its first available blank page. I stared at the clean page, wondering just where to begin. Should I work backwards, or start from where the dreams began? It was better to start with the freshest. It was easier that way. I began writing furiously, as if my life depended on it. Each idea, memory, and thought seemed to evoke a surge of others. It wasn't until my wrist began to ache and several pages were filled that I stopped, drained